Okay, good evening, it's 6 o'clock. It's 6 o'clock, March 4th, 2019. It's time to call the city council meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Yes, sir. Mr. Adams?
Yeah.
Mr. Austin? Mr. Blankenship?
Here.
Mr. Eggers?
Here.
Mr. Hugo?
Here.
Mr. Richards?
Here.
Mr. Wertz?
Here.
Sir, you have a quorum.
Thank you. Mr. Wertz, prayer and pledge.
Let's bow our heads. Father, be with our wonderful city as the council conducts a business of our city with fiduciary responsibility. Be with our military men and women around the world who provide our many freedoms. Be with the Franklin first responders, the police and fire departments, and our city employees who provide the many services for our city. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. It's nice to look out to the crowd and see several people here for a public meeting. So we do have a couple things on the agenda for announcements, presentations, and public comments. And I think the first one we want to do, we have two new police officers joining our Franklin Police Department that we're proud to have, and we're going to have a swearing-in ceremony. So. Okay, how are you, sir? It's right here. Okay, raise your right hand. I, Jacob Blackford,
I, Jacob Blackford,
a member of the Franklin, Indiana Police Department,
member of the Franklin, Indiana Police Department,
solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution of the State of Indiana,
the Constitution of the State of Indiana,
and that I will faithfully discharge all my official duties.
and I will faithfully discharge all my official duties.
Welcome aboard. Congratulations. We'll get a photo here in a minute. At least good-looking young guys. Raise your right hand. I, Alexander Nelson,
I, Alexander Nelson,
a member of the Franklin, Indiana Police
a
Department,
member of the Franklin, Indiana Police Department,
do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America
do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America
and the Constitution of the State of Indiana,
and the Constitution of the State of Indiana,
and I will faithfully discharge all my official duties.
that I will faithfully discharge all my official duties.
Thank you, sir. Welcome aboard. You guys come up for a photo. You got family members or anything you want to get taken?
Do you two or Herbie and then
Okay.
one, two.
I can use a picture after, tell me.
One, two.
Did you guys hear that? Joe Abbott, Councilman Abbott just said selection here, and I didn't think maybe.
Missed opportunity.
Still
It's flu season, you know.
You do know how to clear a room, Mayor.
Okay, next on the agenda for announcements, presentations, and public comments, we do have our Mayor's Youth Council here to present what their 2019 project, 18-19 project's going to be. So, Mr. Locke, would you bring your and introduce everyone and
Hi, I'm Jonathan. I'm president of the Franklin Mayor's Youth Leadership Council for this year. This is Edgar Schultz, she's a junior. Clay Black, she's a senior. Kevin Nagel, she's a junior. Megan Tennell, she's a junior. Dylan Clark is our vice president, he's a junior as well. And Will McGinnis, he's a freshman. So we're here today to just give an update on what we've been working on so far, one of the biggest projects that we're working on. We've also, we're still in collaboration with the shop class at the high school with our little library. We're planning on putting that outside of Unity Park, the playground. That's out by 31 that we fundraised last year. We have books for that and all of that. It should be functioning by the summertime. But our current project is water bottle fountains, and we're going to take a minute and talk about that today.
So these water bottle fountains are both environmentally friendly, as they save plastic, and make you able to reuse water bottles. They're also durable, long-lasting, so you don't have to replace them. They're pretty cost-effective. They're also convenient for students. Here in a little bit, we'll show you where they're going to be placed around the high school. And then they're also both automatic and manual, which also makes it easy for students to use.
Good evening, everyone. Just some of the benefits of the water bottle fountains. So Duke University actually implemented some of these water bottle fountains throughout campus down there, and they were able to, based off the measurement of water that they measured through the water bottle fountains, they were able to determine that they saved around 400,000 bottles of water just through the filters. Overall, this is better for the environment. You're able to reuse the plastic water bottle by just putting it under there and it just drips in the water. And there's no touch system, so it's automatically censored, so once you just put it under there, it fills it up.
So the Franklin Community School Corporation Wellness Committee has agreed to donate one additional water bottle fountain once we fundraise 2 fountains.
So we decided our locations based off of where it would be convenient for students and the popularity of those areas. The first place that we chose was by the field house in the athletic area based on how popular it is for gatherings for students as well as athletic activities. We then chose the upstairs D hallway because people pass through it for their required classes like math, so it's common, as well as we wanted somewhere on the other side of the school, so we had them spaced out and also went upstairs. And then we chose the cafeteria because it's a convenient location for students because they are going to the cafeteria for a 30-minute period every single day, and that's why we chose that last location.
So our pricing, what's going to currently cost us is $1,890.06. We're not going to have to pay anything for shipping and handling or tax. And the cost that we have right now is actually the cheapest one we could find. If we had ordered directly from the supplier, it would have been more expensive.
And just to make it clear, around here asking for any money, which is just an information session. But we started a GoFundMe page a couple months ago. We've already gotten like $575 from that, and well, we actually made $554 from that because of commissions and stuff. We also sold basketball T-shirts at the school basketball games. I know Mr. Work was there one time. Thanks. Yeah, we made $440 from that. So currently we made about $1,000, and again, we have just a little over $900 left to raise. We're well over halfway there. I think we can do this. Thank you.
That's really all we had. Does anyone have any questions or anything that we can clarify?
Jonathan, I just got a couple of comments. I think it's a great project that you guys are doing. And just so the council knows, you guys are doing some fundraising. I know you have a meeting set up to go give a presentation. I know at least at the Hills. What was that date? Is it
March 14th.
March 14th? So you have a presentation there. And I know that the council, probably one of the questions that would be asked of me is if they don't get their goal, there is a place in our budget, the mayor's budget, that we can help out. But the main goal is for the mayor's youth council to try to do it on your own, and I think you're doing a great job. And appreciate not only last year's, this year's. You're taking on 2 separate projects this year, and the shop class is helping with the other project. Is that correct? Okay, so I just wanted to make that comment, because I know that Drew usually asks me, can we help if we need, and we can, so, but we want you to do it.
Yeah.
But I thought Mr. Word should have bought $440.
Hey, I did buy. But the question, is the 1,800 for one machine, or is that for both?
That's for both of them. Yep. And then the third one will be purchased by the wellness committee separately.
Are any or all of these fountains ADA compliant? Are they able for people,
Yes.
all abilities to access these?
Yeah, yes it is. We didn't want to be a hypocrite based off the park last year.
Anybody else?
I just have, besides feeling guilty, thank you. Number 3, I would think a school that size would, probably benefit a little more. I understand, like, money's an issue, but how did you come up with number 3 on that?
Initially, we looked at 2. We did look at a whole renovation for the schools, and then we saw the price of the fountains and stuff. They're a little more expensive than anticipated. So eventually, somewhere down the line, we might do a total replacement of the entire schools. But we decided just to use 2 of them. We're gonna monitor the success, the usage, the water, and how much plastic it saves. And based off that information, we'll see if it's worthwhile to replace the school.
Well, thank you guys, and I appreciate your commitment to the community, so thank you.
Appreciate your help.
I don't know, gentlemen, it's election year, you might be looking at competition out there.
Good job.
Thank you.
Okay, I do have an announcement that we talked about it for Public Works. For several years, Rick Littleton has been taking care of our DPW as the superintendent, and he has also been taking care of our IT needs. And as the city has grown, so has the demands for both positions. And we just talking with Rick a few weeks ago, and actually a year ago, we talked about trying to create the IT department. I know all of you gentlemen here on the council, we've talked about that several years. We just felt like now was the time to do that, and Rick was very interested in taking over our IT, and he's been here since, taking care of it since we've actually started. So Rick is taking, that's effective February 25th. Rick is taking over the transition into his new role as the IT director. And Sally Brown, who's been here 20 years and has all his certifications, will be taking over as interim superintendent for the rest of the year. Rick's been tasked to come up first off with the job description, creating the department, and then every department that we have pays for different apps. He's going to put the budget together, taking pieces out of each department that they pay for, and creating that budget, and by sending that to the city council budget time when that comes. So I just want to make you all aware of that. And I think I did send an email to you, but publicly I wanted to say it also. So that's where we're at. Rick's here, so Rick, I want to publicly thank you again for all that you've done over the years at DPW. I know it's hard, that's your baby, but you're not going anywhere. And he's here to help with Sally with any questions she might have through the transition. So thank you, Rick.
Congratulations.
Okay, is there any other announcements, presentations, or public comment? Hearing none, we will go to consent agenda.
Move to approve the minutes from February 20th, 2019.
Second. Second by Mr. Richards. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Gets us to old business. We do have some old business.
Move to read all old business by title only.
Second.
Second by Mr. Wertz. So, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, move on. Common Council Resolution number 19-02, resolution waiving non-compliance with tax abatement compliance requirements by Mitchell DC. Hope I got that right. Heavy Industrial Climate Control Community Development Specialist Ronnie Oliver.
Hi, Ronnie Oliver with Community Development. I'm here before you again. We tabled this, you tabled this at the last meeting. Mitsubishi is requesting a waiver of noncompliance because they have failed to file their Form 322RE with the county. They had in fact filed all of their CF1 forms through the city of Franklin. I'm just going to do these separately because last time I felt like I created confusion by trying to do them at the same time. So this was 3 years, the resolution 1902. This is for 3 years that were missed, 16, 17, and 18, they had filed their forms. And all were approved by the Economic Development Commission and then by the City Council. So I came back with clearer resolutions. The recommendation from the Economic Development Commission was that they would like to forward a request or recommendation to accept the waiver of non-compliance so that they could get the remaining years of their tax abatement moving forward. But Lynn and I worked together and brought you 2 resolutions. One that would do just that, just allow them the remaining years of their abatement, and then one that would allow you to give them a refund for some portion of the taxes that they did not get abated.
Yeah, and that's why you have 2. Obviously, you only want to select one, but based upon the conversations and the discussions that were held at both meetings, I wasn't sure what you wanted to do, but I wanted you to be able to take official action tonight. It is appropriate for you to vote on these. One allows you to do the refund, as Ronnie said. The other simply waives the requirement for future years, which is something that has to be done, but does not give them the refund for the years that they have failed to make those. And if you look on paragraph 1 of the second one, it says at 65% in the tax year 2, it should be 2019, but you have that option. So if you all decide what you wish to do,
Lynn, that's what I was curious about on the first paragraph on the first draft. It's a little ambiguous to me that it says shall be waived for future years. Aren't we waiving the non-compliance of the previous years but allowing the future years? But they still have to meet those compliance standards for future years, correct?
yes, but if they didn't file it in the past years, if we don't waive that, they're not eligible to file it.
I understand, okay.
So that's
It was
why,
a little ambiguous.
that's why it's drafted. Now, what is with the blanks in there, I wanted you to have both options.
Right.
There seemed to be a difference of thought last time. I don't know if it's come around, maybe it was confusion last time. Some people thought they would waive it and allow for there to be a retroactive credit, which would require us to reimburse. But I think that please correct me if I'm wrong, but the recommendation from the RDC was that you simply waive the requirement of filing, but there be no retroactivity given, but in future years, they would still be entitled to take it if they
Yes.
don't refile.
Yeah.
And that was the
And
recommendation.
that's the second listed contract,
Yes.
correct? The one without the blanks.
The one without the blanks in it, that's correct.
Their recommendation was that they did not want to recommend more than just moving forward, but they wanted to leave it to you if you wanted to give a refund, so.
And that is the second resolution, so it doesn't have a blank in it.
That's my personal opinion. It's not our form, and, 3 years is a long time to go without realizing this. It's my opinion that, I don't have a problem with them having their abatement moving forward, but I just don't. I'm gonna take the economic development stance and let them move forward, but not refund.
I'm gonna echo that also, and I guess we're kind of gonna be the last time too. If we give back any of that money, we got to pay with interest. And that's almost like a fine. It's something that we didn't do. It's not our fault. And it's almost like, it's not just giving back money, but we gotta give back interest. To me, that.
Mr. Adams, you are correct, I confirmed that. If somebody overpays, in theory, they would have overpaid in tax.
Right.
And as a result of their overpayment of tax, it is then has to be returned to them with interest on their overpayment. That'd be a pretty good investment scheme, wouldn't it? With an 8% interest. That would be required if you were to elect that option.
Well, I will make the same motion I made a month ago to move forward with the EDC recommendation for approval of the Common Council Resolution 19-02, moving forward with all abatements.
With no refund.
With no refund on the prior meeting.
So the second, I'll second that with the change in the draft of adding 2019 instead of the same tax year. Can you add that to your motion, Richard?
Yes.
A second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there any other discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, we'll move on to the next one, Common Council Resolution number 19-03, a resolution waiving non-compliance with tax abatement compliance requirement by Mitsubishi Heavy Industries Climate Control Incorporated, Resolution 13-31 is what I have here. That's not right, is it? It should be
1903.
Yeah, it should be 1903, so.
And this is pretty much the same issue, right?
That's correct.
Yeah, it's resolution 1903. 1331 was the resolution, the original resolution that this was approved under in 2013. Correct.
Okay, I would make the same motion for resolution 1903 to move forward with the abatements.
And I would second, again, it looks like it's 2019 is written in there this time, so no change.
And I will say that the city appreciates Mitsubishi and all you've done and will continue to do and work with you in the future in all endeavors.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion with anyone?
There was some discussion at the last meeting, but regarding the role of the city employees in the filing of these things, but I take the position that it's really the company's responsibilities to make certain that these things are filed. Certainly our city employees are here to assist and help answer any questions, but as far as ultimate responsibility for filing these, I don't think that falls on our departments to do that. I think each corporation that we have working generally has departments or people assigned their responsibility, and just don't want anything coming back on the city that maybe we should have done something. Because I think our city has done what it needs to do in executing and carrying this type of thing out.
Okay, thank you. And I did check with Ronnie just to bring this up. It was like you want to state here, Ronnie, it was brought up about didn't know they had filed that.
On their SB1, when they originally filed for the tax abatement, I can pass it around if you want to see it, but in the highlighted orange, it reads, this form must accompany the initial deduction application form 322 RE that is filed with the county auditor. So the very original form that they fill out does tell them they need to do that. I have added a step to the process where I'm just going to check and make sure. I have asked the auditor to send me all the companies they don't have 322s for, and before I take it through EDC, or at least before it gets to council again, I will make sure that they have filed their 322, or I will not bring it to you.
Okay, any other discussion? Okay, hearing none, we do have a motion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, we'll go to new business. Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you.
Move to read all new business by title only.
Second.
Second by Mr. Hukin. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, request to provide an update to council on grant cycle, fundraising, current programs and partnerships, Tony Breeden, Franklin Education Connection. Thank you for coming, Tony.
Thanks for having us. Hi, good evening. So I'm here to provide an update, but first we want to say thank you to the City of Franklin for your partnership with our organization. So some of you may not be aware of Franklin Education. What we do is we have, we're comprised of mentoring programs and also Education Foundation. So starting with just a brief refresher, our Steady Connection program partners kiddos in the Franklin Community School District with local community members who come in to volunteer and mentor students once a week for an hour a week. And that program is long-standing and very successful program. We're excited that most recently we've launched an off-site location at the Franklin City Police Department, and we're very grateful to Chief Cochran for his support in getting that up and running. So the kids have really enjoyed that. It's very fun for them. They ride the bus over there. And like I said, that is our third off-site location. Our other two is we have one with NSK and we also have one with the Armory. And so it's a little bit different than the ones that are in place in the buildings. So we're really excited to get that third location up and running. And like I said, the kids really enjoy going and being mentored by the police officers. And then also with Steady Connection, we do late spring a banquet where we recognize our volunteers who volunteer all the time, our site coordinators who work so hard for us throughout the year. And then also have those, what we call those students our study buddies, and they can come and share what the program's meant to them over the course of the year. So a lot of these students are nominated by teachers or administrative staff that could just use a little extra help, whether it's homework help or just like a constant in kiddos' lives. And there might even be some study buddies in the room, I'm not sure. So the banquet just kind of brings all that together at the end of the year. It's a really nice event to kind of end the school year and celebrate the program. The other mentoring program we have is the First Scholars program. That's our newer program. I introduced it the last time I was here. We're in our second year now, and that's at the high school level. That partners high school attendees who are on track to be the first in their generation to attend college. Again, with a local mentor, somebody who comes in and works with them, provides college readiness advice, and then the program curriculum offers college visits, guest speakers, just sort of help bridging that gap between here's where you could go and here's where we want you to end up. And so this fall, those incoming freshmen will be the third class moving through that program. So we were really excited. Our third annual barn dance gave us the opportunity to showcase that program to our attendees. We have sponsors and donors that attend that event. It's our largest event of the year. And so we were able to have a mentor and a student sort of speak to the program and what it's meant to them. And with it being a newer program, it was great to have those folks who supported us along the way learn the impact of that program. The third annual barn dance this year raised $25,000, just a little over. So it was a great, successful event. We were grateful to City of Franklin for sponsoring that event. We had lots of sponsors and partnerships, attendees and volunteers. We had great board support, so that really contributed to the success of the event. And one of the good things when you have a successful event is that you can turn around and give the money away. So the end of our grant cycle last year, ending 2018, so for the 2018-2019 school cycle, the Education Foundation awarded 17 applicants. We had 29 applicants, and we were able to fund 17 grants. So just a little over 11,000. And one of the cool things about this year's cycle was that we were able to fund a grant in every building, which is something kind of unique because it's a blind application process. So it was good to learn that every school was able to get something. So we really look forward to seeing those passion projects come to life. The selection committee has its work cut out for them every year because the teachers really pour their heart into their applications. So they send some really high quality stuff. And some of these grants withstand time. So some things are just for one school year, but then some stuff has an impact in the classroom for years on end. And so that brings to date our total funded grants to just over 113,000. So yeah, it's exciting stuff, and we look forward to seeing what those dollars do for this year. So one of the nice things is we give money away, but we also are on the receiving end of some grants. So we were recently awarded December 2018 a very generous grant from the Brannigan Foundation, $30,000. And that is going to be used to continue our partnership with Sylvan Learning. So we operate that program at the elementary, intermediate, and middle schools. And they go in and offer robotics clubs, coding courses for the middle school level. It's after school, it's completely free to the student, they're really popular. And one of the really big benefits is that because it's a partner with Sylvan, we're able to bring in their staff instead of adding more work to the teacher's workload. So that's been a successful program that we're able to continue because of that grant. And then the second part of that grant is going to go towards another STEM-focused initiative at the high school that's already in place called Project Lead the Way with the district, but it's going to expand to reach more students at that level. And then just recently we were awarded $10,000 from Anderson Hauser, who's another great partner of ours, and those funds will go towards STEM-focused programming as well. So lots of good things going on with the Education Foundation. And just overall general support from independent donors, corporations, partnerships with communities and organizations, and even just our individual donors. A lot of our individual donors are school teachers who have it set up for a portion to come out of their pay, which to us is a huge compliment in my opinion. So we wouldn't be able to do all of these things without all of those different moving parts. So we have upcoming events. We have one at the Elks, not this Wednesday, but next. We do a Bunko Night fundraiser, and they're generous enough to donate their space to us for use, which just helps us raise more funds. So that will be March 13th. And another great way that we see support is through the local businesses here in downtown Franklin. They come forward with donations for prizes and gift cards and things like that that help generate excitement. So it's just great to see the support from them as well. Does anybody have any questions?
I got a couple comments. Les Tablin, aren't you one of the study helpers? Is there anybody else in the room that does that? I know Les has talked to me about how enjoyable it is for you to be able to help out with some kids who go to the web. Is that correct? That's correct. So thank you for that. And the other comment that I would have is, Tony, I appreciate what you're doing for the connections. And also, I think it shows what kind of partnership that everybody on the city council has when we approve our budget to allow us a little bit of funding. Not as much as we'd like to do, but the city can help, and we're partners with the school, and I think we all want, the council all wants to continue that. So
We're grateful for the support.
yeah, thank you for what you do, and thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. This is to Common Council Budgetary Resolution number 19-03, authorizing a transfer from the Parks 400 capital to Parks 300 services in the amount of $40,000. Park Superintendent Chip Warren.
If you would Chip speaks, if you want money, listen to how this guy's gonna try to get money.
This is just moving, it's not new.
It's March.
So,
Yeah, it's March.
I'm still on Purple Friday in August rule, I'll never ask for new money before August.
Solid plan, Chad.
Yeah, so, what this is just moving money from a capital account to a 300 account, so I'll describe what this is. Last month, the planning department and the parks department have partnered to, we're going to create a bike and pedestrian plan for the city. That includes, we're going to map out all the current trails that are in Franklin, but then all what we foresee to be future trail connections in Franklin. It also includes sidewalk connections, so we'll do a complete GIS look at the entire sidewalk network in Franklin, see where the gaps are. We'll look at the current, what we call PASER rating. You've probably heard that when you hear about roads. We're going to do PASER ratings for the trail system and sidewalks throughout the entire community too. What we'll end up with at the end is basically a plan for future trail connections, bike lane connections. We'll also have a maintenance plan because we have a really nice trail network that is growing by leaps and bounds every year, which means one of these days we're actually going to have to sink some money into maintaining this thing afterwards. That's what this will end up with. The majority of the funding comes from Indianapolis MPO. The $40,000 is just our match.
What kind of match is it, the 50/50?
I knew you were gonna ask me that, I don't remember off the top of my head. It's more than that.
It's 80/20.
Yeah, I believe so.
I think so.
Yeah, it's 80/20, and another thing that this does, if you want to apply for grants, you have to have something like
Sure.
this in place, so it is a plan that we can take and use.
I like it.
And the reason Chip said the money's there, and all the councilmen that was here for the budget, I think you remember that when we went over the budget, we had that in there, it wasn't in the right line item, so it's just getting switched to the right line item. I thought I did that right, I guess not.
You got it in there, that's all.
So it's just a move.
We can do this tonight, right?
Yes, sir. It's just a resolution transferring already allocated appropriated funds.
I move to approve budgetary resolution number 19-03.
Okay, we have a motion and a second by Mr. Richards. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Hearing none, well, thank you, Chip.
Try not to see you for August.
Hey, Jim, don't leave for,
I'll be here, sir.
Next item, common council budgetary ordinance 19-03, a budgetary ordinance repealing and replacing budgetary ordinance number 18-09, fixing and authorizing the payment of certain salaries of appointed officers and employees of the city of Franklin for year 2019 sewer utility. What we're not adding to our budget, simply when we appointed Sally Brown as the interim superintendent, there is a line item there for an assistant superintendent of $62,000. However, at that position, she would not get compensated for overtime. And at the moment, Sally's going to be doing two jobs, and I'll explain here in a minute. She's in charge of Sally here. Okay, Rick, she is the currently
Lab tech.
lab tech. Okay, so at that position, she gets overtime. Well, she's still gonna be doing that with an intern. So she will need to be working some overtime. And then the other position, she's gonna be filling in for Rick. So I didn't think it was fair for her to take over 1.5 positions, let's put it that way, and not get compensated for the overtime. So we're not adding to it, we're just simply moving some funds to her position. That was there. Do you have that pulled up, Tara?
Yeah, the one position was exempt and hers is non-exempt, so that allows her to be compensated by overtime. Is that not correct, Jane?
Mayor, the assistant superintendent and the lab techs are the same.
Well, it wasn't, the lab tech was, I think, about 50.
Okay.
About 50, yeah.
Yeah, about 52, I believe, and we wanted to at least get her up to the assistant superintendent pay for now, and then be able to pay the overtime if she had to work the overtime. And I know we got into this with our street department at one time, if you remember, Joe, we all thought that they wouldn't get compensated the way they should. So talking with Sally's thinks this is comparable to what she should get.
That's a good fix.
And then next year, we will come back with a different budget for the IT department, and we will fix this. We will we will come up with a full-time superintendent for the next budget year.
This is a good fix, and she is compensated, she's fine.
This is introduction only. Official act.
Okay, any other questions on this?
I do have a question, this goes back to the IT department.
Yes.
Is it just gonna be you, Rick?
Yeah, I mean, starting out, of course, we had our arrangement with the school.
The school.
That's really perfect, because that gives us access to a whole team of people.
Yes.
Do you see that in the future, maybe needing an assistant at all?
Eventually, yeah, I think eventually that's where you're headed, but, getting started, this arrangement is perfect.
And the reason why I asked that question, Mayor, is when we do the budget next year, we might wanna put a person in that slot, but not fill it, but at least we have one for another two-person underneath, right?
I think that's what Rick's gonna develop. We have a once-a-month telecommunications, although it's beyond telecommunications anymore, meeting, and this has really been, the concept has been in the works. The school has just picked up a lot of the, every time I see Rick, it seems like I see Matt and the assistant, so it's headed.
Telecommunications Council will, I've already talked to them about it. They're, as of last Monday night, at our monthly meeting. So they'll work very closely in the development of this budget is what we present to you.
Yeah, I'm there, and they've been talking, I think, speaking a language I'm not familiar with.
Yeah, 'cause Rick walks around with Channel 5 and 6 cables.
That's right, the tech language, but the concept I can understand, so it'll come.
And when we have our joint council and school board meeting, Rick will be able to elaborate a little bit more, that giving a little more time to get our feet on the ground, where we're headed. And Jerry brought up a good question, you want to ask?
Oh, I was just making sure, I leaned over and asked Ms. Gray if we would be able to compensate Ms. Brown retroactively, since this will take about a month and she's already assumed the role, so I just wanted to make sure she was getting compensated for the work she was doing, and that is possible, so once we get it passed, we can go back and pay her.
And thank you for asking that question, because that is one thing we did talk to Sally about, that we would come back and do that. Okay, any other questions? Hearing none, there isn't any other business. So, council member comments, we started down here the last time, Dan, so we'll go down here to Joe.
Oh, sorry, I missed the last meeting. It was pretty eventful. All these planning commission meetings. I really have no comments.
I don't normally do this, but we had a special meeting on January 28th with the council and the redevelopment commission. And at our most recent meeting, there were some, I think, significant items that came up. And I'm not trying to stretch the meeting out, but I'm going to just kind of give you an update on a few things that did occur. One is that the sale of the Shell building, that deal stopped. Amazing Foods wasn't able to complete the transaction, so we took steps to really cancel the deal. My understanding is through the mayor's office and through JCDC, we're pretty close on another prospect on that. I think that's all we really need to say on that, but we kind of, the construction to complete the Shell building, at least what we had originally intended, is in motion now. So that's an update. That's the worst we'll say. The redevelopment commission did close on the purchase of the Scott and Michelle Graham property. They're on Generations, which was a key piece in that floodway. Through the mayor's efforts, we have a pending offer now to purchase the Franklin Auction property. I think the city's intention on that is to eventually maybe put a little money in that, but it's going to be storage and used by the Parks Department and DEF for functions downtown. The redevelopment commission took steps to, I don't know, integrate's maybe not the right word, but expand the US 31 TIF to include the properties acquired in the flood buyouts. So that has taken place, and it relates to the next item that I'll just update you on, and that is the RDC approved initial steps to bond the US 31 TIF up to an amount of not to exceed $10 million, and that would be to pay for the design work on the proposed 31 project by NDOT and possibly be used down in the floodway to do the work that we've got down there. Anyway, that's kind of an update on some things that we talked about that I think we've looked at the numbers pretty carefully. It doesn't appear at this point. I think that the redevelopment commission will be funding all of these projects, and everything will kind of fit tightly and everything, so we won't be coming to the city for any short-term funding of anything at this point. That possibility does exist, but it doesn't appear that it's going to right now. So, just an update. I hesitate to say this, but you folks that are putting in those water refill things, nothing against the wrestling team, but try to keep them as far away from the wrestlers as you can.
Hey now, I was wrestling.
They tend to like to spit.
I'll do our best.
Some of you knew what I was talking about, right? Yeah.
Thanks, Bob.
All
Anything else?
I think you have enough.
Mr. Wertz?
Yes, the tree advisory board has been meeting, with Chip. We are on the final phase of having Franklin as a Tree City USA certified city. We should be bringing that in the next month or two. Secondly, the council has to approve. The advisory board is not funded at this time, and most of our boards receive $50 per meeting, cents per meeting. The advisory board will meet 6 times per year, and I would like to entertain that the council pay the tree advisory board the same as they pay all the other boards. And we have planning, zoning. So I don't know if that needs to be something we put on next agenda.
Yeah, you'd have to have a resolution authorizing that, just like you do, and then, of course, exempting anybody who is already an elected official, so it's not a problem. So it can only be those people who are not elected officials.
I would like to add that to our agenda next month. And secondly, with a Tree City USA certification, we can apply for grants, which is up to $25,000 per year. And that's money that would help us maintain the trees in our city. Secondly, I admire the youth and the projects you have, and I would like to challenge all of the city council, the mayor, the clerk, and our attorney to donate $50 to your project.
Just for.
And I'll do that.
Just for the record, Jonathan can verify it. I gave 100.
Hey, Mayor, that's just like another t-shirt.
We gave 100 on the park, though, didn't we?
That was last year.
All right.
Okay, thank you, Richard. Anything else?
I like a challenge.
There you go.
There you go. I'm in.
That's all, Mayor.
Okay, Mr. Hager?
I just want to say congratulations to Rick and Sally, she's not here, but great job. I know you'll both succeed. And good luck to you guys, community help on them.
Sir, no comment, Mr. Webb? Okay, Mr. Richards?
I'd like to thank the street department for staying on top of the potholes on the street this year. See one pop up in the afternoon, it's all smoothed over, they're on top of it.
So we're not like Indianapolis, right?
No, not like Indianapolis.
Well, and I'm gonna tell you, I think a lot of that, our street department is on top of stuff. I appreciate it, Brett, and send the word on. But another thing is, I think as a city council and as the redevelopment commission and everybody working together, we're ahead of the game on maintaining our streets and doing a good job with that. So, yeah, we still have streets that need a lot of work, but doing a good job staying ahead of it. So, thank you. Anything else?
Motion to adjourn.
All I had was $50. I'm empty.
Here's your 150 right there, you're getting closer, man. Come and get it, I'll trust you.
All right, we have a check.
Oh, we didn't make that too.
We have a GoFundMe, you can make it out to the high school.
Franklin Community High School.
Okay, we have a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Mr. Worthing, a second. All those in favor?
I do not want the ministry to put the lawyer out money out of pocket.
You know what I was